Post-war agreements, the Philippines and the United States strong ties through the important agreements, solidifying their relationship, and the post-war World War II period. So the Cold War alignment, the Philippine leaders choose to align themselves with the United States during the Cold War, sharing the political ideological alignment in the global struggle against the communism. So the military base agreements is the U.S. maintained military bases in the Philippines for staggering 99 years period with a jurisdiction of over these bases. So the arrangement raised concern about the Philippines' sovereignty and independence as it's appeared to compromise their control over their own territory. So, the military assistance agreement, the United States provide a military assistance to the Philippines armed force, often using surplus equipment. So this supports was crucial for the Philippines in maintaining the military capabilities. So the Mutual Defense Treaty, the two nations established a military alliance through a mutual defense treaty. However, unlike those some other defense, lack an automatic commitment from the U.S. the to the event of an attack of the Philippines, making the defense commitment somewhat conditional. So the U.S. guarantees uh, critics in the Philippines sought NATO-like guarantees of a military protections, but they only received just guarantees through the executive orders rather than a formal treaty. This meant the level of commitment was not as strong as some had hoped for. So, the Philippines' pro-American foreign policy during the Cold War was characterized by close alignment with the United States through there were debates and concern about the terms of various agreements, particularly regarding the presence of U.S. military bases, the level of security guarantees provided. So the Foreign Military Involvement Security Alliance with the United States during the 1946-1972. So the Philippines' involvement was war aligned with U.S. interests in impact of the military involvements on economic growth and social development. So the involvement in the Korean War with the 10th BCT Tabak Division and the involvement in Vietnam sending a civic action group. So the escalation of the Vietnam War and the significant human and financial cost, Nixon doctrine and peace with honor. So during the 1946-1972, the Philippines had a strong security alliance with the United States participating in wars aligned with U.S. interests. So this involvement had economic social impact. So they joined Korean War, sent troops to Vietnam, and incurring significant costs. The Nixon doctrine shifted U.S. foreign policy. So they in the 1973, the Paris Peace Accord marked the U.S. withdrawal from Vietnam, influencing the Philippines foreign policy and defense. Next is the American withdrawal from Vietnam in 1975 had a significant impact on Southeast Asia. So in response to this changing regional landscape, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the ASEAN, held its first summit in 1977. So emphasizing unity and peaceful conflict resolution, ASEAN's primary objective was to establish Southeast Asia as a zone of peace, freedom, and this vision aimed to promote the regional peace, maintain freedom from external interference, and adopt a neutral and international conflict. So, to support this vision, ASEAN later created a Southeast Asian nuclear weapons free zone. Importantly, the ASEAN rejected the idea of forming a regional military alliance like defunct Southeast Asia Treaty Organization instead of focusing on cooperation, diplomacy, regional security. So, the ASEAN's commitment to regional peace and neutrality, shaping its approach to security and diplomatic relation in Southeast Asia. Next is the criticism of post-war Philippines foreign relation. So the nationalist criticism, Filipino nationalists criticize the country foreign relation for being heavily centered around the United States. So they argued that this limited uh, Philippines' sovereignty and independence. So the U.S. self-interest, the U.S. was accused of pursuing um, its own self-interest in global leadership to at the expense of Philippines' interests. So next is the military alignment. The Philippine military agreements. So next is the military alignment. The Philippines military agreement were seen as aligning with the US. So in containment policies during the Cold War. So the policy potentially involving the Philippines in conflict that serves American interests but not necessarily those of the Philippines. So use of bases. U.S. military bases in the Philippines were used in conflict like the Vietnam and Indonesia disputes without the explicit consent of the Philippines government, raising concern about the country involvement in the conflict it had no control over. So the the economic dependence of the Philippines on the United States lead to so next is the economic dependence of the economic dependence of the Philippines on the United States lead to concern of American demonations, with critics contending that this economic reliance limited the Philippines' ability to make independent economic decisions. So, next, the Philippine Trade Act, the Act of 1946, also known as the Bill Trade Act, was criticized by favoring favoring the United States in bilateral trade. So, adhering the Philippines' effort, industrialization, and economic diversification. So this criticism highlighted the issue of related the sovereignty, military involvement, and economic dependency that emerged in the context of the Philippines' post-war foreign relations with the U.S.
That's all. Thank you.